Exploring the concept of past lives is a journey that has fascinated humanity for thousands of years. Across cultures, traditions, and spiritual practices, the idea that the soul continues beyond one lifetime has been a source of wonder and mystery. The thought that you may have lived before, perhaps in another body, in another time, and in another land, is both thrilling and unsettling. People often wonder why they are drawn to certain cultures, places, or even people they have never encountered before. They question why some fears or habits seem to have no explanation in their present life. For many, these mysteries point toward the possibility of past lives. The belief in reincarnation is central to religions such as Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism, but it is also found in ancient Greek philosophy, in tribal traditions across Africa and the Americas, and even in certain mystical interpretations of Christianity and Islam. To learn about your past lives, you first need to open your mind to the idea that life may not be limited to the span of years you live on Earth right now. Imagine your soul as a traveler who changes clothes with each journey. Your current body is simply the clothing of this life, but your essence remains the same. The experiences you gather, the lessons you learn, and the relationships you form are all carried forward in subtle ways. Some people call this karmic memory, where the soul carries impressions, emotions, and lessons from one life to another. This is why people sometimes say they meet someone and instantly feel a connection, as if they've known them forever. These bonds are believed to transcend lifetimes, resurfacing in different forms. Learning about your past lives can begin with self-reflection. Dreams, for instance, often hold hidden clues. People sometimes dream of places or periods of history they have no logical connection with. They might feel an unexplainable familiarity when they see a castle in Europe, a desert in the Middle East, or a forest in South America. Dreams can serve as windows to the subconscious, where buried memories of past lives might emerge symbolically. If you keep a dream journal and write down recurring themes or characters, patterns may emerge that give you insight into who you might have been before. Another way people explore their past lives is through meditation and mindfulness practices. Quieting the mind allows deeper layers of memory to surface. Some spiritual teachers guide seekers into meditations where they visualize walking down a corridor or opening a door into another world. What unfolds can be surprising. You might see yourself in a different body, wearing different clothes, speaking a different language. While skeptics argue these are products of imagination, many people describe these visions as profoundly real and transformative. Even if imagination plays a role, it can still help uncover hidden truths about yourself. Past life regression therapy has gained popularity in recent decades as a more structured approach. This technique involves entering a relaxed state, often guided by a therapist or hypnotist, and allowing the subconscious to reveal memories. People undergoing regression sometimes describe vivid details of their supposed past lives' names, locations, and even events that can occasionally be verified historically. For example, someone might recall living in a particular town centuries ago and later discover that such a place did exist with strikingly similar details. Whether these accounts are literal memories or symbolic representations of inner truths, they can bring healing by helping people understand their present struggles. For instance, a fear of water may be explained by a memory of drowning in a past life, and confronting this memory may bring relief. Learning from past lives is not just about satisfying curiosity. It is about understanding your current life in a deeper way. Many people believe that challenges you face now are connected to unfinished lessons from previous incarnations. If you struggled with power in a past life, you may be learning humility in this one. If you harmed others before, you may be given opportunities to heal and help in your present existence. This perspective can shift how you see obstacles. Rather than punishments, they become opportunities for growth. By reflecting on these patterns, you can gain wisdom, compassion, and clarity. It is also important to approach past life learning with balance. Not every difficulty can be explained away as something karmic. Sometimes pain and suffering come from the choices of others or from natural events. Believing too strongly in past lives can lead to guilt or confusion, but using the idea as a tool for self-discovery can be empowering. It encourages responsibility, growth, and compassion for yourself and others. After all, if every person around you has lived many lives, the stranger next to you might once have been your sibling, friend, or even enemy. This thought can transform the way you interact with the world, cultivating empathy and understanding. Signs of past lives often emerge in everyday experiences. Déjà vu is one of the most common. You walk into a place for the first time, yet it feels oddly familiar. You meet someone new but feel as though you've shared countless conversations before. These moments can feel fleeting but powerful, leaving you to wonder whether they are glimpses into a deeper soul memory. Another sign is an unexplainable talent or affinity. Some children display extraordinary abilities at very young ages, such as playing instruments they have never studied or speaking languages they have never learned. While some explain this as genetic or environmental, others see it as evidence of knowledge carried over from a past life. Karmic relationships are another fascinating dimension of past lives. These are connections that feel destined, often intense and complicated. They may involve deep love, but they can also bring conflict. Such relationships are believed to be opportunities to resolve unfinished business from previous incarnations. If you find yourself repeatedly drawn to the same type of person, or if certain relationships in your life feel charged with unexplained emotions, it may be a sign of a karmic connection. Recognizing this can help you approach the relationship with greater awareness, aiming to heal rather than repeat old patterns. Cultures around the world have preserved stories of reincarnation that inspire seekers today. In India, ancient texts describe the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth as samsara, driven by karma until the soul achieves liberation, or moksha. In Tibetan Buddhism, lamas are sometimes recognized as reincarnations of previous spiritual leaders, chosen as children after displaying uncanny knowledge or behavior. In the West, philosophers like Plato also entertain the notion that the soul exists before birth and after death, carrying wisdom from one life to another. Even in modern times, researchers have documented cases of children who spontaneously recall details of previous lives. These children sometimes speak of families, professions, or deaths with such accuracy that investigators confirm their accounts. While such cases remain controversial, they add to the intrigue surrounding past life studies. Learning about past lives can also enrich your sense of purpose. If you believe your soul is on a long journey, then this life becomes one chapter in a much greater story. Rather than being trapped in the fear of death, you can see life as a school where each incarnation teaches important lessons. This perspective brings comfort in times of loss, suggesting that death is not an end but a transition. Loved ones who pass away may return in another form, and your own journey continues, shaped by the wisdom you gather along the way. Practical exercises can help you explore this idea further. Meditation, as mentioned earlier, is one of the most accessible methods. You can also try automatic writing, where you let your hand move freely across paper without conscious thought, allowing deeper memories to flow. Visualization exercises, such as imagining walking through a forest and discovering an ancient book with your soul's story, can also trigger meaningful insights. Keeping a journal of these experiences helps track patterns over time. Even if the images and memories cannot be verified, they can reveal aspects of your psyche that need attention. The value of past life exploration lies not in proving whether reincarnation is literally true, but in how it transforms you. If recalling a past life makes you more compassionate, more forgiving, and more present in your current life, then it serves its purpose. The journey of self-discovery is about awakening to the fullness of who you are, beyond the limits of time and space. You begin to see yourself not just as a single person living in a single era, but as a soul with vast experiences, carrying wisdom across lifetimes. Skepticism is natural and even healthy. Science demands evidence, and so far, past life claims remain largely anecdotal. Yet, the absence of definitive proof does not diminish the power these stories hold for those who experience them. Human beings live by meaning as much as by facts. The narrative of past lives offers a framework to make sense of suffering, relationships, and destiny. Whether literal or symbolic, it speaks to the deep human desire for continuity, justice, and growth. To learn your past life is ultimately to learn more about your present self. By exploring dreams, practicing meditation, considering past life regression, or simply observing the patterns in your life, you can uncover clues about the larger journey of your soul. Each step you take in this exploration adds depth to your awareness, making you more mindful of the choices you make today. Imagine standing at a crossroads where behind you lies a trail of countless lifetimes and ahead of you stretches the path of future incarnations. You carry with you the wisdom of the past, the opportunities of the present, and the possibilities of the future. When you open yourself to the idea of past lives, you begin to see the world differently. Every person you meet could be part of your larger story. Every fear, every dream, every unexplainable attraction could be a thread in the fabric of your soul's long journey. By honoring these possibilities, you step into a life of greater awareness, responsibility, and compassion. Whether or not reincarnation is ultimately proven, the journey of exploring past lives leads you inward to the timeless truth that you are more than your body, more than your current story, and more than this single lifetime. This is not just an abstract philosophy, it is a practice of living deeply. Each time you reflect on who you might have been, you also reflect on who you are now and who you wish to become. In this way, learning about past lives is less about escaping into history and more about living your present life with wisdom and grace. The mysteries of the soul may never be fully solved, but the search itself brings meaning. The more you learn about your past lives, the more you realize that life, in all its complexity, is a gift meant to be experienced with awareness, love, and openness.